Today we'll be working in my second workbook on the book of First Samuel, and it's called Saul, Israel's First King. It covers chapters 8 through 15. And to give you a little bit of an idea of where we are in history, we're about 1,000 years BC. Birth of Samuel was before that, and that's about where we are in history. And right at this point, Israel is divided into 12 tribes, and you can see all the 12 tribes here. And so that's where we are at this point. Now, looking at the table of contents, we're going to be starting this book, so we'll be working on chapter 1. So at this point, if you recall from the prior book, Samuel is now leader of Israel, and that's where the first book had to do with Samuel and his life. So now, Israel asks for a king, for Samuel 8 through 1 through 22. When Samuel grew old, he appointed his sons as Israel's leaders. The name of his firstborn was Joel, and the name of his second was Abijah, and they served in Beersheba. Abijah, okay, Abijah. Find Beersheba and circle it. Okay, so let's find Beersheba. It should be, well, there it is, way down there. I thought it was down there somewhere. Okay, we don't want that filled like that. So there you go. Find Beersheba and circle it. Samuel normally led from Ramah, which was in Ephraim. Circle Ephraim. Okay, so Ephraim, where are you? Right here. What is the name of Samuel's firstborn son? Joel. And the name of Samuel's secondborn son was Abijah. And what did Samuel appoint his sons as? The Israel's leaders. Find and circle all the tribes of Israel. Well, okay, we can do that. Reuben is over here. Simeon is Simeon. Oh, Simeon. Some of you who are very, very good at this know where all of them are all the time. Okay, so here's down here, Simeon. Judah, of course, we all should know where Judah is. Right around, where Judah? Okay, there, Judah. Right, actually, Judah. Then we have Dan. Dan should be up in here. Yeah. Sometimes there's more than one place. I'm just going to pick one place this time. Then we have Naphtali. Naphtali should be right here. Okay. Then we have Gad. Gad right here. Then we have Asher. Asher up here. Then we have Ishkar. Ishkar right here. Then we have Zebulun. Zebulun. There you go, right near the coast, as predicted. And then we have Ephraim. Well, we've already done that. Then Manasseh. And then Benjamin. So those are the 12 tribes, and I'm sure we might have, yeah, see, Manasseh has 2 spots, Dan has 2 spots, and but basically the 12 tribes of Israel have their own land in the area of Israel. Okay, so let's go next. Scripture continues, but his sons, and that's Samuel's sons did not follow his ways. They turned aside after dishonest gain and accepted bribes and perverted justice. Which would be really strange. You would think Samuel would be able to raise sons that were good people as well. Dishonest gain means these leaders would charge high prices or charge for actions that normally should have been free. Accepting bribes means that the people would pay them to judge a case in their favor. And perverted justice means they cheated people in court. They would change the outcome of a case for their own benefit. So they're not good sons, apparently. Who are Samuel's sons again? Joel and Abijah. What sound did they lead from again? Beersheba. Was Samuel's sons good leaders? No, they were not. Scripture lists 3 actions that Joel and Abijah did wrong. What were they? Dishonest gain, accepted bribes, and perverted justice. Dishonest gain, they would charge high prices or charge for actions that should be free. Accepting bribes, people would pay them to judge in their favor, and perverted justice, that they would change the outcome for their own benefit. So all the elders of Israel gathered together and came to Samuel at Ramah. They said to him, "You are old, and your sons do not follow your ways. Now appoint a king to lead us, such as all the other nations have." Who came to Samuel? The elders of Israel. Where was Samuel when the elders came to him? Ramah, that was his hometown. The elders had 2 complaints. What are they? You are old, and your sons don't follow your ways. What did the elders want? A king. What did the elders expect the new king to do? To lead them. Who did they want to be like? The other nations around them. Who is the ultimate leader of Israel? God. Is this a rejection of Samuel or of God, and why? A rejection of Samuel and God. But Samuel contributed this too by not having sons that followed his way. But a rejection of God, really. They could have asked God to solve this and make it better. But when they said, "Give us a king to lead us," this displeased Samuel. So he prayed to the Lord, and the Lord told him, "Listen to all that the people are saying to you. It is not you they have rejected, but they have rejected me as their king. As they have done from the day I brought them up out of Egypt until this day, forsaking me and serving other gods. So they are doing to you. Now listen to them. Warn them solemnly, and let them know what a king who will reign over them will claim as his rights." What displeased Samuel? That the people wanted a king. Who are the elders really rejecting? God. What does God say the people have been doing since they left Egypt? They've been rejecting God as their king. God tells Samuel to respond in 3 ways to the people. What are the 3 ways? Listen, warn them solemnly, and let them know what a king will claim as his rights. Samuel told all the words of the Lord to the people who were asking him for a king. He said, "This is what the king who will reign over you will claim as his rights. He will take your sons and make them serve with his chariots and horses. They will run in front of his chariots." In the next several scriptures, Samuel tells the people all the problems about having a king. What did Samuel first tell the people? He will take your sons and make them serve with his chariots and have them walk ahead of the chariots. What is the first problem offers about having a king? They're going to have your sons walk in front of the chariots, which means that they will hit the battle first. On the picture, circle the man who's in front of the chariot. What would be the danger of running in front of the chariot? Because you would be into battle before the king would be. Some he will assign to be commanders of thousands and commanders of fifties, and others to plow his ground and reap his harvest, and still others to make weapons of war and equipment for his chariots. In this picture, there are three more problems listed about having a king in the scripture. Sorry. What are they? He will take your sons to become commanders of thousands and fifties, that is, put them in the military service. He will have your sons plow his ground and reap his harvest. And he also have some of your sons make weapons, war, and equipment for his chariots. And all these jobs, the people are not working for themselves, but for the king. They are plowing his land. They're making his weapons. They're fighting for his army. He will make your daughters to be perfumers and cooks and bakers. What is a perfumer? Perfumer is more than a person who makes perfuming oils and powders for the body. They're like apothecaries or modern day pharmacists, making ointments for wounds, remedies for various ailments like indigestion, and also making cosmetics. All from these are made from natural herbs. All of these are made from natural herbs and plants. A baker is different than a cook because a baker bakes bread and pastries, whereas a cook prepares the meals. The new king would take the daughters of Israel to do what three jobs? Be perfumers, cooks, and bakers. What are four things a perfumer makes? Perfuming oils and powders for the body, ointments for wounds, and remedies for various ailments, and cosmetics and stuff too. What are four things that I said that. How is a cook different from a baker? A cook bakes bread and pastries, whereas a baker bakes breads and pastries, whereas a cook cooks the meals. He will take the best of your fields and vineyards and olive groves and give them to his attendants. He will take a tenth of your grain and of your vintage and give it to his officials and attendants. From grapes we get wine, grapes juice, grapes and raisins. From olives we get olive oil and olives. From grain we get breads and pastries, cereals, and feed for the animals. This scripture provides two more problems about having a king. What are they? They'll take the best of your fields, and he'll also take a tenth of your grain and produce. What is grown in vineyards? Grapes. So a king will take the best land for his and also expect a tenth of the crop from the land the people had left. What would make this appealing to the people? Protection. The only thing I can think of is protection. Your male and female servants and the best of your cattle and donkeys he will take for his own use. He will take a tenth of your flocks, and you yourselves will become his slaves. There are four problems listed here about having a king. What are they? He will take your male and female servants. He'll take the best of your cattle and donkeys. He'll take a tenth of your flocks, and you yourself will become slaves to him. Can you name all the problems with having a king that Samuel lists? Not without looking, but I have the answers. Answers being in the back of the book. So let me quick roll to those. You can probably look back and see. A, he will take their sons and make them serve with his chariots and horses, and they'll run in front of his chariots. B, the king will assign commanders of thousands and fifties, that is the military. C, the king will assign men to plow his ground and reap his harvest. D, the king will take daughters of Israel to become perfumers, cooks, and bakers. E, the king will take the best of your fields and vineyards and olive groves and give them to his attendants. F, the king will take a tenth of your grain and of your vintage and give it to his officials and attendants. G, your male and female servants the kings will take. H, the best of your cattle and donkeys the king will take. I, the king will take a tenth of your flock. And J, they will become the king's slaves. So quite a lot of things will happen if you have a king. When that day comes, you will cry out for relief from the king you have chosen, but the Lord will not answer you in that day. So on top of everything else, when they find that they're not happy with the king, they'll cry out to God, but God won't do anything to help them. But the people refused to listen to Samuel. No, they said, we want a king over us. Then we will be like all the other nations with a king to lead us and to go out fight before us and fight our battles. Did the people change their minds about having a king? No. What are the three reasons they want a king? We want to be like all the other nations. We want a king to lead us and go out before us and fight our battles. What does Samuel say will be the result if people cry out to God because they're not happy with their new king? God will not help them. When Samuel heard all the people said, and he repeated it before the Lord answered, listen to them and give them a king. Then Samuel said to the Israelites, everyone go back to your own town. When Samuel heard all the people said, what did he do? He brought it back to the Lord. Did Samuel go to the Lord when the people first went to him about having a king? Yes. Samuel was dedicated to the Lord from his birth, was raised in the tabernacle, and had his first conversation with the Lord when he was a young boy. Based on the relationship you see in this chapter, do you think Samuel has always had a relationship with the Lord? Yes, because he always talks to the Lord with all the things that he does. How did the Lord respond to Samuel this time? He said, give him a king. Do you think it's wise for the people to want a king? Why or why not? No, obviously, if God doesn't want it, it's better to talk to God about the problems that existed instead of trying to have a king. When Samuel tells the people, everyone go back to his own town, he means he'll take care of it, find them a king. So now we come to the end of this chapter. And so let's see if we can have the answers here. Samuel has two sons. Their names were Joel and Abijah. 5. The elders of Israel came to Samuel at Ramah. Number 6. What city was Samuel's hometown? Ramah. 2. What city did Samuel's sons serve as leaders? Beersheba. 3. Who were the people really rejecting? God. And 4. He will take your daughters to be perfumers and cooks and bakers. So that's the end of this chapter, and I hope you enjoyed it. Bye now.